What's happening, guys? This is Bharat Nagpal for iGyaan.in, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Lava Xolo X900 mobile smartphone. And this is a device that was launched by a company in India called Lava, and this is the first smartphone which has an Intel Atom Z2460 SoC, which includes a single core 1.6 GHz Saltwell CPU with hyper-threading, and it also has a X540 GPU, which is clocked at 400 MHz, and it also has 32-bit dual-channel LPDDR2 memory. So in terms of that, the device is the first of a kind Intel-based Android device in the market in India. It's priced at about 22,000 rupees, and we're going to take a quick look at the device itself. So let's begin. So this is the device, this is the size, and to do a quick comparison of size, I have a couple of devices over here. So this is the One X in terms of size. The screen on this is a 4-inch screen, so a 4-inch screen versus a 4.7-inch screen. Not a lot of size difference. Here it is from the back. It's quite slim as well. And next we're going to place it right next to the Xperia S. Again, the Xperia S has a 4.3-inch screen, whereas this has only a 4-inch screen. It's actually a 4.03-inch display, but that can be considered a 4-inch display. So that's the front, that's the back in terms of size, and you can see in terms of thickness, the Lava Xolo seems much thinner than the Xperia S. And lastly, not that any of these devices are in the same price range. Let me quickly pull out my iPhone from the cover on the side, and do a quick comparison with the iPhone 4S in terms of front, back, and almost the same thickness. They're actually almost the same thickness. The Xolo is slightly higher, about a hair or two higher than the iPhone, but it seems like it's exactly the same thickness. Let me put them side by side. So that's a quick comparison of size with the other devices with me right now. So let's take a quick look at the device itself. On the front over here you have a couple of sensors. On the top right you have, in the center here you have the earpiece along with a front-facing camera, which is a 1.3 megapixel camera, and it should be capable of doing 720p video recording as well, so HD video calls. On the bottom over here you will see a back button, a menu button, a home button, and a search button. That's because this device is still running Android 2.3.7, so a variant of Gingerbread is on this device. And you see this small hole over here, that's the microphone. These buttons are capacitive buttons. In terms of the display, we have a 4.03 inch 1024 by 600 pixels, so it's a 1024 by 600 pixel LCD touchscreen, and the overall pixels per inch is about 295, so that's pretty decent. On the right of the device you have a speaker grill. So one of the speaker grills is on the right and one of the speaker grills is on the left, so you have stereo speakers on this. We have a dedicated camera shutter button. You also have a SIM card slot. The original iPhone had a SIM card slot like this, so this is a full-size SIM card slot. You need to insert a pin into this hole, and this thing comes out. So it's a pop-out SIM card slot. The camera shutter button is over here, and you have the volume rocker over here. On the top you have a 3.5mm headphone jack along with a power lock and unlock button. On the left you have a micro USB charging data syncing port, and on the back over here you have an 8 megapixel camera, and you also have a secondary microphone over here which is for noise cancellation as well as for audio during video recording. You have an LED flashlight over here. You have the Xolo logo, the Intel Inside logo, and a couple of certifications at the bottom. And this is a nice soft touch rubber back finish. It feels pretty good. Overall design is not very pleasing from the device. It actually looks like a very cheap or budget device. The silver on the sides of the device is not very pleasing to the eye. It's quite dull looking, and the overall look of the device is not as impressive as I thought it would be once I did see the device in pictures. So That's a big disappointment. The overall look of the device is not so great, but let's take a look at the interface. Once you do unlock the device and we have this wallpaper on it, I'm going to try and change it to something which makes the screen a little bit more visible. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. We have stock Android running on it, no customizations done by Lava whatsoever. So let's quickly jump into wallpapers and see if I can find something that should be a little more pleasing to the eye. Maybe this will work. Okay, so that's the main screen, and you can of course add a bunch of widgets, shortcuts and all of that. So you can add the power control widget over here and scroll right, scroll left. All those things are standard. Android, you have 7 home screen layouts. You actually have 5 home screen layouts. I don't even know if you can pull the home screens out. You can't really pull the home screens out. You can do it like stock Android could. So you can pull out all your home screens by pressing the dots, and jumping to a screen from there should be fairly easy. I'm just going to quickly jump into the settings panel and go into About Device. You can see it's running Android 2.3.7. The screen is a very dull screen. I have it on full brightness right now, but if I put it on auto, it's a pretty dull looking screen. Not as bright and vivid as I thought it would be, but the pixels per inch is pretty decent. 297 is a good crisp resolution for a device. This does cost 22,000 rupees. However, it seems a little bit higher than what it should be. I'm going to quickly jump into the browser and open up iGyaan. Oh, looks like it's already open from my previous visit. So let's just take a look at that. You can pinch to zoom in, but you can see that it's really choppy and not as smooth as we'd like it to be. Again, panning is also pretty choppy. It does load all sorts of Flash content. As you can see over here, it's loading some Flash advertisements on our side. You can see that. So it does load all sorts of Flash content, games, videos, everything should work fine out of the box, and no issues with that. You can see it loads the full website, although it is not very good at panning and pinching in and pinching out in terms of zoom. But the device itself will be able to handle most websites. The experience may not be that great. I'm also going to quickly jump into YouTube over here and see if I can play a video from our channel. We've got the Funbook hands-on review over here. I'm just going to quickly play that, put it in full screen mode and play it in high quality. Let's see if it loads it up. It does load the video properly. Audio is very low, and the screen looks really washed out to us, and viewing angles are not so great on the display. But the screen is really very washed out. Colors are not as vivid or as bright as we'd like it to be. Maybe you can see it on camera, maybe you cannot, but it's not a very visually pleasing display over here. Let's take a quick look at the dialer. This is the dialer. You get call logs, contacts, favorites, all those things are there. Of course, you can open up the Google Play Marketplace and download tons and tons of applications from there, and it works properly, and most applications should be able to work without any issues. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly run a benchmark, and Quadrant Standard is going to be our benchmark. So we're going to run a full benchmark to see what the Xolo X900 scores on Quadrant. So an impressive Quadrant benchmark score. It's got a 3,847 with a stock ROM, no customization, no tweaks. The Galaxy Nexus is way below, Galaxy Tab is way below. We get a 3,847. So an impressive, very impressive score. At the bottom over here, you can see that the CPU scores, CPU scores 3,668, memory scores 7,885, input output is 5,451, 2D is 455, and 3D is 1,778, which is an impressive score from the device. I'm also going to quickly run Nina Mark II, and let's run a test. So Nina Mark II also shows an impressive 36.8 FPS, which is quite impressive for a device at this value. So in terms of benchmarks, the device scores really high scores in terms of graphics, in terms of performance. It's pretty impressive. The only disappointment for me currently is the fact that it's not such a pretty looking device in terms of it's not a very great looking device, and it will pass off almost as a Chinese phone, if I dare say it, or a very old Android device. So that's something that you should look at. It's not a very pretty looking device, so if that's something that is a concern to you, then that's something that you should look at. The build quality doesn't seem really impressive. It's got a lot of plastic in it. The sides are all plastic, the front bezel is all plastic, so we have a complete plastic construction except the back cover, which is rubberized, but overall construction is still plastic. So that is somewhat of a disappointment. We will be doing a full review of this, and before I go into that option, I'm just going to quickly pull up the camera, and as you can see over here, this is the camera. You can pull out the settings from the side. Very stock camera application, so you can set up all your settings from here. Shooting modes, focus modes, all those things are here. Flash settings, zoom settings. You also have some color effects, ISO settings, and shutter speed settings. So you do have a pretty decent camera. Exposure mode, auto white balance, smile shutter, anti-banding, location, so geotagging, backlighting correction is also included. So you have tons and tons of settings over here. So that's pretty good, and the camera shutter button is located at the bottom right, so you can press that to take a picture. There is no tap to focus, however. Double tapping zooms in, so if you press this button it should take a picture, but it does focus. There is no tap to focus, however. Camera is a pretty fast responding camera. As you can see, it just quickly took a picture of my SLR over there. I'll upload some video samples, some picture samples on our website. I did see some sort of color discoloration over here. I don't know if you guys can see that. There is a big blue hue, and I don't know if it's on the screen or in the camera. So we'll have to check that out as well. So there you go, guys. This was a quick hands-on with the new Lava Xolo X900. This is an Intel-based Android phone, the first of its kind, and it's just been launched in India for 22,000 rupees, or about $400 odd, $420 approximately. So it seems like a pretty decent device in terms of performance, in terms of benchmarks. It's pretty all right. The display is disappointing, and the overall look and feel of the device is disappointing. Guys, for more unboxing videos, reviews, hands-on, and tutorials, log on to iGyaan.in. If you have any questions, queries, leave them in the comment section below, or on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The links to those are on the video right now or in the description below. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/iGyaan, youtube.com/iGyaanTV. If you like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. It helps us go a little bit further. For iGyaan.in, this has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching.